Welcome back, friends, to the Food Freedom Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Mary. I am a food addiction recovery coach, helping women break free from the destructive cycles of food obsession, binge eating, emotional eating, and diet mentality. If you're new here, I'm really glad you found the show. Before we dive in, make sure you head over to my website, foodfreedomwithmary.com. Get on my email list so you don't miss a thing. All right, let's talk about something really important today. You've heard me say this so many times. Food addiction recovery is not going to be about willpower. That's one of the biggest myths that people believe. And it's not just a matter of trying harder or having more discipline. Food addiction is a very real battle that affects your brain, your body, your hormones, your emotions, and your habits. And when we understand that, something important happens. We can stop blaming ourselves and we start realizing we need strategy, structure, and support. So today, I want to walk through 5 things that you need to stop doing if you're serious about healing your relationship with food. And these are patterns I see all the time with women who are stuck. And once they stop doing these things, everything starts to change. Okay, so number 1 is waiting to get help. The first thing you need to stop doing is waiting to get help. I see it all the time. People think, I'll figure it out on my own, or, I'm going to start next month, or, in the summer, or when the kids go back to school, I know what I need to do. I just need to try harder. But here's the truth. Your future self is counting on the decisions that you make today. And the longer someone struggles alone, the longer the cycle continues. I'm telling you, food addiction thrives in isolation. That's not just that's not just a statement. That is fact. Recovery, though, thrives in support and accountability and having a structure, a plan, a roadmap. And that's why, community matters so much. That's why coaching matters, because trying to outthink an addiction by yourself is mentally, emotionally, and physically exhausting. And honestly, it doesn't work. It rarely works. Number 2 is believing just one bite won't hurt. I see this one trips people up so often. So the second thing you need to stop doing is telling yourself just one bite won't hurt, or maybe even telling yourself isn't even the right thing. Stop listening to that voice of sabotage that tells you just one bite won't hurt. Okay. Now listen, for someone without food addiction, maybe that's true, okay? My husband could take just one bite of something and walk away and never think about it again. He's normal with food. I don't get it. I don't relate, but whatever. Those people exist. But if you have a history of binging or losing control with certain foods, that one bite can be the one that flips the switch. It wakes up the craving cycle. The addicted monster in your brain, it wakes it up, and suddenly the food noise comes roaring back, okay? Suddenly you're thinking about food all day. Suddenly the binge pattern starts again. And this is why I talk so much about drug foods, okay? For many people in recovery, abstinence from those foods is not restriction, it's actually protection. Okay, number 3, relying on willpower alone. The third thing to stop doing is trying to rely on willpower. Willpower is unreliable. It fluctuates depending on sleep, stress, hormones, emotions, and how chaotic your day has been. If willpower worked, most of the women listening to this podcast right now would already be free. Okay, real recovery is going to require a plan for what you eat, when you eat, how you handle trigger situations, danger zones, what you do when cravings hit, how you structure your days. Structure creates safety, and safety helps calm the brain that's been stuck in that addiction cycle for decades. Number 4, beating yourself up. This is never productive, okay? The 4th thing you need to stop doing is beating yourself up. Shame does not produce better behavior. It doesn't produce better results. What it does produce is hiding. It produces more emotional eating. It produces the exact cycle that you have been trying to escape. I've worked with hundreds of women over the years, and I can tell you this with complete confidence. The women who make the most progress are not the ones who are perfect. Okay? They are the ones who are compassionate with themselves while still staying accountable. That balance is powerful. It's necessary. It's needed. You can take responsibility for your actions without attacking your worth as a person. Number 5, trying to do it alone. The 5th thing you need to stop doing is trying to do this alone. Addiction can be very isolating. It isolates people. It convinces you that no one understands what you're going through. It convinces you that you're the only one struggling this way, or that it's harder for you than it is for other people, but it's simply not true. One of the most healing things that happens in our recovery is when we realize I'm not the only one. That made a major impact on me, because I swear for the longest time, I was so embarrassed, so ashamed. I'm like, nobody does this. Something's wrong with me. I'm a sicko, right? Like, support from people who understand this struggle makes a massive difference. Someone who has walked the road, someone who knows what the danger zones are, who knows what the voice of sabotage sounds like, someone who understands the mental gymnastics that happen with food. I'm telling you, recovery gets a lot easier when you're not fighting the battle by yourself. Okay, here's the truth I want you to take away from today's episode. Food addiction is powerful, but so are you. Healing is absolutely possible for you. You can repair your relationship with food. You can stop the cycle of binging and obsessing. Okay, you can build a life where food is no longer running the show. But it starts with letting go of the habits and the beliefs that have been keeping you stuck and replacing them with a sustainable structure or plan, strategy, and support. If you want help with that, I'd love to support you. You can apply for private coaching, or you can join my Food Freedom Tribe, which is my group coaching community where women are actively working on building food sobriety together. Or if you're one of those, like if you insist that you're a lone wolf, then you can enroll in my online course and do it by yourself. Just head down to the show notes below this episode. All the links are there. And again, make sure you're on my email list so you never miss new episodes or helpful resources for your recovery. All right, my friends, thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next episode.